I want the opera house! This church remains closed till this town has its opera house! I want my opera house!
In the pantheon of adventure movies, there are few as legendarily batshit insane as Werner Herzog's Fitzcarraldo. This is both because of what Herzog manages to put on screen, the sweeping vistas, rapids, and indigenous Amazonian tribal life, and because of the absolutely insane lengths that Herzog went to filming it. Herzog set out to originally make a very different movie, one that starred Jason Robards and Mick Jagger. Jason Robards playing Fitzcarraldo, a charming Irish opera fan and failed railroad entrepreneur, turned into a rubber baron in the early 1900s. This character, called Brian Sweeney Fitzgerald, is based off of the Peruvian rubber baron Carlos Fitzcarraldo, who transported a disassembled steamboat over an isthmus. Mick Jagger played his silly, simple sidekick, Wilbur. After failing to secure funding with the local elite, Fitzcarraldo sets out to create a rubber fortune which he can use to finance a grand opera house, hoping to get Enrico Caruso to sing for him. His operatic dreams and the lengths he goes to achieve them drive him to the brink of insanity. However, Jason Robards got sick with dysentery 5 weeks into the film shoot and could not return to the Amazon. And Mick Jagger had to go on tour and couldn't stay while Herzog sought out a new lead actor. Still, Herzog did not give up on the film, casting Klaus Kinski, the intense, stormy, and sometimes violent German actor who he had worked with in Nosferatu and Agore, The Wrath of God.
Ich spiele es jetzt so, wie ich will und aus.
Gut, ja, aber wir müssen natürlich wissen...
Endlich aufhören würden, mit ihre Hausfrauenanweisungen zu geben. Sorgen Sie dafür, dass eine Szene... Sie sind kein Regisseur! Sie müssen bei mir lernen!
Nein, natürlich lerne ich nicht.
Sie sind ein Anfänger!
Natürlich bin ich...
Ein Zwergenregisseur sind Sie, aber nicht ein Regisseur für mich!
Jetzt beleidigen Sie mich besser.
Beleidigen?
Die Szene hier.
Beleidigen? Sie können mich gar nicht mehr beleidigen, als dass Sie mir Regieanweisungen geben.
The shoot with Kinski continued on as they plunged deep into the Peruvian jungle. Herzog would accidentally become enmeshed in a war on the Peruvian-Ecuadorian border. Several indigenous Peruvian extras would die during the shoot.
Nelson is one of the Aguaruna leaders who think the Indians should continue working for Herzog and his producer Walter Saxer. The tribal council has put out a warrant for his arrest, charging him with treason. Death threats are being made against him and the film company. Nelson's mother is frightened.
Someone gets speared after the set got raided by the Amahuaca tribe, and a crew member will be bitten by a poisonous snake and need his leg amputated.
Sagt, und plötzlich merkt er, zweimal beißt ihn eine Schlange, und zwar eine Chuchupe. Das ist die gefährlichste Schlange von allen. Normalerweise dauert es nur ganz wenige Minuten, dann setzt Herzstillstand ein und Atemstillstand. Und er ließ die Säge fallen, die ging aus und überlegte 5 Sekunden lang. Und dann klaubte er seine Säge wieder auf, warf sie an, so ähnlich wie man einen Außenbordmotor anwirft, und schnitt sich seinen Fuß ab.
With only a chainsaw to remove it. Herzog eventually agreed to help the tribe keep the land they built the camp on at the end of the shoot. Herzog's relationship with Kinski was also extremely tense. The last time they had worked in the jungle together, Herzog had to hold him at gunpoint to complete the shoot.
Schrei ich oder schrei ich nicht? Und du sagst es mir nicht, aber ich schrei aber nicht. Leg mich doch am Arsch weg. Der Moment ist überhaupt gekommen, wo ich dir in die Fresse haue. Was? Diesmal schlag ich in die Fresse, Lauf, hast du dich verlassen, du. Diesmal sitze ich in dem Kostüm in deiner Scheißkarre in Holland.
Mach zu.
Kinski was intense, demanding, mercurial, and subject to constant tantrums. Herzog claims that things got so bad that he plotted to kill Kinski, and the natives offered to do it for him.
Am Schluss der Dreharbeiten, gegen Schluss, boten mir die Indianer an, dass sie den Kinski ermorden würden für mich. Sie sagten, sollen wir ihn töten für dich? Und ich sagte, nein, um Gottes Willen, ich brauche ihn ja noch zum Drehen. Lasst ihn mir.
Disease ravaged the set and took the lives of some of the native extras. And one man drowned after stealing a canoe on set. One of the most iconic and legendary parts of the film involved pulling a steamship uphill. The 320-ton steamboat was disassembled, and Herzog set out to pull it up the hill without special effects. A feat for which a Brazilian engineer put together a complex pulley system, but then quit out of a fear that it would likely break and kill many of the extras.
Martins quits. Herzog decides to continue without him.
Que há uma possibilidade de 30%. 30% de possibilidade deles fazerem.
It didn't break, and they successfully got the ship up the hill. But Herzog was willing to risk the fact that it might to get the shot. And so, the Fitzcarraldo shoot has become just as legendary as the film itself, for the depths that it drove Werner Herzog in the making of Fitzcarraldo. A man who, like Francis Ford Coppola on the set of Apocalypse Now, was driven as insane as his lead character in The Jungle. Herzog leaves his sanity in the space between two rivers. The process was documented by Les Blank for the documentary he filmed simultaneously, Burden of Dreams.
So low-key in his presence that I hardly ever noticed that he was around. Sometimes he's very slow. He's like a southern bullfrog sitting there, and he needs a beer to brood behind, and he doesn't talk, and you don't know where is he with his mind, and he's like, and I always liked him for that. He's like a Bavarian, like me, sitting at the table and brooding and having a stein of beer, and you just see images. But he would not be talkative. He wasn't even monosyllabic. He was zero-syllabic.
Fitzcarraldo has become one of the most controversial films ever made for the lengths that Herzog pushed the cast and crew to go to. And yet Herzog's career survived and lived on, partially at least due to the results. Fitzcarraldo is known for having some of the most breathtaking scenic vistas, dangerous and interesting shooting, and for getting into the depths of the Amazonian jungle on screen. This wouldn't even be the last time that Klaus Kinski and Werner Herzog worked together. They would collaborate on the 1987 German drama Cobra Verde, which shot in Ghana, Brazil, and Colombia.